In this video, I want to talk about why women find high value men more attractive. You see, when it comes to high value men, they act differently, they move different, and they behave differently. One of the first reasons why women find them more attractive is their priorities. You see, they're not always investing in the relationship 24/7. Do they still invest? Yes, they do, because they want to make sure it's nurtured and that they continue to build together. But with all that being said, they actually love their work. You see, when they clock into their job, it's not something they dread, something they hate. They don't just put on their suit and tie and they're thinking, oh man, here we go again. Got to punch the clock and collect another paycheck. That's not how they think. They're excited about their work. They get up every day with a passion, with energy, and it's very attractive to a woman because they feel secure with him. They feel like the future is going to be very well for the both of them. And there's a sense of stability with that man. You see, when a man doesn't have a purpose, they're lost, they're confused, they're unsure about themselves. So when they're seeking for something like a career, there's some uncertainty about them because they're not sure if this is going to work out. You see, with a high value man, they've already gone through that process. There's been a lot of trial and error. They've probably failed at some things before, but they're willing to go through that process. There's a big difference there. You see, beta men don't go through that process because they're afraid of failure. Because if they end up failing, they don't think they can ever recover. The high value man realizes, you know what? I got to go through this process. And a woman finds that attractive because he loves his work. He shares that with her. And when she's going through her stuff and she needs her space, he doesn't get bothered by it because he realizes, well, I'm just going to continue to work on myself and get better and bring value to our relationship. Another big component of a high value man is they are leaders because when they're fulfilling their purpose, right, they're excited, they're doing everything they're supposed to do, and they're taking action and chasing their freedom. And the girlfriend or the wife is looking at them going, man, this guy's awesome. He's always taking control. And yes, he might fail at times. I'm not saying they're perfect because they're not. Will they have the temptation to be victims? Of course. I'm not saying they'll never go through that process. That's impossible and that's not a realistic expectation. But if they ever go through that process and they're behaving like victims, they don't stay there for a long time. I'll give you a life example of what I just went through with my wife. So earlier this year in January, she was going through a serious health issue and it was out of nowhere. We were dealing with it, trying to figure out what was wrong. And she ended up in the hospital for 9 days. And then a week later, after she was home, she goes back and she was there for 30 days. And it caught us both off guard. Obviously, this was tough for me because I had to take care of her. I had to take care of things around here. I had to show up to work and I was still recording YouTube videos. Was I ever a victim in this moment? I would say yes, because I was tempted to, but part of me was like, I have to keep going and take care of her. Could I have, cried, complained, and blamed her? Yeah, I could have. Did I shed some tears? Of course. It wasn't easy, but my faith got me through it. And whether you believe in God or not, that's totally up to you. But that's what kept me going. And I went to this focus where when she first got sick, I was like, I got to lock in. And even when she was in the hospital the second time, I just stayed at the hospital for 30 days because I was realizing as she was sick, I needed to be there instead of staying at home, because we were both learning about this condition. So was I perfect through the process? No. Was there times where I just wanted to give up and quit and cry myself to sleep and be a victim? Absolutely. But I had to get up each day and fight and take care of her and take care of things around here. Was that easy? No. But you got to do what you got to do. So with high value men, what they do is do they go through challenges? Of course, just like everyone else. The biggest difference is they don't cry about it. They move forward, they take responsibility, and they just show up. That's the biggest thing. Now, 4 months later, even after she got home from the hospital, she was struggling to walk. It took her time to get her strength back. And this past Sunday, she went to church again and she went to the altar. And it took her some time to walk up there. She comes back, sits on her chair, and all of a sudden she can walk again. Now, whether you believe in God or not, again, that's totally up to you. I believe in it. I believe she's healed and she's walking fine. She's just doing normal things again. It's been an unbelievable week for me. But I say all this because it's easy to be a victim. It's easy to blame yourself. But high value men do not do that. They keep moving forward. And if you don't move forward, you're going to remain backwards. That's why women find these type of men so attractive because they continue to overcome. Sure, they're going to go through struggles, but they continue to figure it out and do what they got to do so they can level up. So, how can you get a woman to see you as a high value man? The first thing you got to do is take responsibility of all your actions. the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you grew up in a single parent home, there's going to be some growing pains for you because if your father was absent, if he did not give you the tools to be the man you're supposed to be, you're going to be at a disadvantage and you have to work on those things. I rely on my faith. That's what's helped me. I've surrounded myself with guys who can help me out. Even if they don't say anything, just being around them helps me get better because I see how they behave and act. The first thing is, take responsibility of your actions. Look at the things that you're not good at and work on them. Now, if there's certain things you can't get better at, like it's at a 3 and it doesn't make sense to get it to a 5, don't worry about it. But work on the things that you can control. Your emotional attachment is a big thing. You might have developed an anxious attachment style because your dad wasn't there to help you be stable and be strong with those emotions. So work on that. Another thing is accountability. Get around men who are on a different level than you. It could be a mentor. It could be your boss at work if they're obviously a good boss, right? It could be somebody in your community, but make sure you have somebody that you can follow after. It could be somebody online, with they produce good content and something you can take and apply to your life. You can go on YouTube and find mentors and then they've got courses and you can buy one or they can set up a phone call with you and you can talk to them about the struggles you're going through. You just have to seek out these resources. But if you don't do these things, then you won't level up. So the biggest thing is just accountability and responsibility. If you apply those things, you'll be a better man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thanks for sticking to the end. Make sure you go check out my other video where I talk about the common mistakes men make at the start of relationships. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Love to hear your thoughts on how you're working on being a high value man, and I'll see you in the next one.